All right, guys, how to build a 50K per month agency. So I'm going to cut out as much fluff as I can. I will go into certain concepts that you definitely need to understand. But this process is actually a lot simpler than you think. A lot of people overcomplicate building something big because they expect so much to matter, and it actually doesn't. So I'm going to break things down into like certain, like I said, I think five or so points. I'll try and keep it concise, because it just takes, you can brute force your way through a lot of this. Now, remember in my previous videos, and this is going to be part 3, I guess, of the fundamentals series, but you have to, the reason I talk about working for free in my previous videos, and I still think that you should, is because you cannot develop high value skills very quickly. You need practice most of the time. Sales, for example, is a very high value skill, and it takes practice to do so. Building websites takes practice to do so. There are better ways to do it, but it still takes practice to do so. To know what needs to go where, to know what colors to use and why, etc. So the very first step is to have a niche and an offer in that niche. So I'm going to give you a little bit of gold. So I'll give you guys a niche that you can work with. So the niche I have, right? It was kind of a random one that came up out of nowhere through my other consulting business that I have. And he was like, hey, like I could use some help. And then I just went and realized there was nobody doing anything in that niche. So I was able to very quickly scale that. But I'm going to give you a good one. So it's a blue collar niche and it's sandblasting. Okay. So what you guys can do is you can actually go to people who do sandblasting, like sandblasting rims, and they paint and stuff like that as well. And sometimes these guys work on like heavy machinery, like big like excavation machines and stuff like that. So to give you an example, you want to go and serve as many of these as possible. And the cool thing about blue collar niches is when you actually call these guys, they're usually dudes who are a little bit more rough around the edges. They don't know how to build a website. They're technologically terrible. Mostly, right? So when you call them, you can say, hey, look, you're ranking number 3 on Google or number 4, and I can get you to page 1 and I'll do it for free. Again, you want to do this for the first 3 clients, and then document the process, and then you'll be able to show this on your site or your social media. You can use Instagram. If you don't want to build your own site, you can use like Instagram, or you can use like Facebook or something like that to put your process and progress somewhere so that they can see it. So again, point number 1 being have a niche and an offer. So you want to go to sandblasting clients and sandblasting businesses and say, hey, I can build a website for you, and then every month I'll do your search engine optimization and keep the quote unquote maintenance of your site for X amount of dollars per month. You can start out small. You can start out at $500 a month or $750 a month or whatever, but you have to understand and realize you do have to deliver that. And a lot of the time, especially in the beginning, you're going to be buying backlinks and stuff to actually increase the authority of the site. So that particular skill is called search engine optimization, or SEO. And it comes with the territory of websites if you want to help that business be discovered on the internet. Building a website is one thing. Getting it discovered is a whole other thing. I know it sounds like a lot, but you can literally go and look at like 2-hour-long SEO masterclasses on YouTube. And there are lots of guys out there who have them. So you definitely want to check that out, and you want to attack that. So again, if you want to use a sandblasting niche, start with your city. Right? Go and introduce yourself to these guys, drive up and say, hey, look, bring your laptop with you, and just say, look, this is what I'm going to be doing, and I want to help you do this, and be relentless. You literally need to be relentless, tenacious, persistent, all those. You have to be, because if you do, like the question at the end of the day is, do you really want this? Because at the same time, I want you living frugally so you can increase your net worth very quickly. And I'll make a whole video about that. Because what a lot of people end up kind of getting attached to is increasing. It's like lifestyle creep. Oh my God, I'm making 10K a month. Now I need to go drive a brand new pickup truck that costs $2,000 a month. Or you want to go a step further and drive like a nice sports car, right? And I don't have a problem with that at all. But I think you guys should reach a certain level of skills. Like you definitely want to get an SEO skill. Again, we can talk about the fitness niche as well, but I'm just for this particular video, I'm going to use sandblasting. And I want you to get to a certain income level, right? And maybe you can even invest some of this money into like selling options and stocks and stuff like that so that you can at least afford those monthly payments. Or if you want to buy it outright, I don't give a shit. A lot of people say it's bad advice. I don't really care as long as your monthly income is high and hopefully increasing. So point number 2 is to raise your prices and package smartly. Okay. So I don't want you selling low. I only want you selling low in the beginning. I want you to sell high down the road. Not too long though. I want you to ramp it up. Okay. Every new client you get, I actually want you to increase it every time. So let's say your first client, you start at like, I don't know, $500 a month or something like that for your SEO services, and maybe $1,000 or even like $500 for the website itself. So you charge $500 for the site and then $500 a month for SEO services or something like that. The next client, do $750 for the website and $750 for a month for SEO services, right? This is after working for free for a while, so you actually know the skills, by the way, to avoid any confusion. I just want you guys, I'm assuming at this point that you guys have done some of the work for free and that you have, gained the skills to deliver the things you're promising that you can deliver, okay? So let's say, for example, you have... I apologize. So from 750, then you can increase it to 1,000 and 1,000, right? That's kind of like a structure that I used, and you guys can totally use that. And I still have clients today that are actually on those early prices. I'm not going to increase it on them because those were my early clients. And what the cool thing about it too is you become friends with these people, okay? So you can have tiered packages if you want to. I don't actually do that. I only have one. Some people have two. I only have one. I say everything's included in this particular price. I'm personally a very simple dude. I don't want to have like a million things to track from one client to another. Even though I can have a teammate that does it, I'd rather keep it extremely simple. So I have one thing, I have one package, one price, one deliverable, basically, sometimes two for like a website and SEO services, something like that. Okay. So you can do that. So that's me keeping it simple, but eventually you're going to want to increase your prices to like 2,000, 3,000 a month. And again, personally, I don't charge less than 2,000. Okay. So part number 3 or point 3 is building a solid team. You're going to do this like pretty much one person at a time. So you're going to be the person that does everything at first, right? And then you're going to realize, just like I did, and again, FYI, I actually don't like building websites. I think it's awful. Okay. I personally hate it. This may be something that you actually enjoy doing. So go ahead and do it if you actually enjoy doing it. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't actually like it. I actually like, and this sounds weird, but I actually like delivering the SEO to them and showing them that it's gone from page 3 to page 2 and then page 2 to page 1. That is my bread and butter. That's what I like to do. And even that, I can outsource that too. I personally don't, because once I go from month number 1 and I get all the links that I need, I'll give you guys the websites as well that you guys can use if you want to outsource it right off the hop. Maybe if you guys have some extra money lying around and you guys just want to pour a little bit of cash into your business. And just a little FYI, think about how much money other businesses take to start. Let's say a construction business. You're buying trucks, you're buying equipment, you're buying all this stuff. By the time it's said and done, you can spend 50 to 100 grand just to start a business. And these kinds of businesses can be started with basically nothing. So if you have to spend a little bit of money on your business, don't start crying about it, in my opinion. All right. Like, a lot of people are so reluctant to be like, oh my God, I got to spend $500 on this. Guys, like, it's business. Okay. You're going to make it back. You're going to have whatever you're spending that money on is probably improving the speed of something that you're doing. Anyway, scaling alone is very hard. And again, it would be hard. Like, this is how I've made my business so off, like hands off, is because, again, I don't need to worry about the websites. To be honest, I don't even actually talk to the client about what they want. I literally tell them, this is the site that I'm going to basically make for you. It's going to look like this. This is where the call button's going to go, because I know at the end of the day, all you really give a shit about is people calling your business. That's how upfront I am about it, because I know them. I know exactly what they want. I know exactly, let's just cut the bullshit, right? So I tell them that. And then I just literally go, okay. And I say to I have all my not clients, my teammates on Telegram. And I say, hey, this is the guy's website. This is the guy's name, business, and go and make another site and just show me before you're done, before you like make it live, show me this. And I'll say, okay, tweak this, move this over here. But we've done this so many times in this particular niche. My teammate knows exactly what to do. I don't even need to talk to him. He'll say, hey boss, here. I tell him not to call me boss, by the way, because I find that to be lame, but that's just me. But he'll say, hey boss, no matter how many times I tell him, he still does it. This is how it looks. What do you think? And I'll say, bro, I trust him so much at this point. I don't even care. I'm like, whatever, go ahead. Right. Because I know, and that's what experience does. You know when to kind of like interject and when not to, because you've just been doing it for so long. And that's an issue with beginners. They overthink everything. And here's a little quote that I never ever forgot, and it's so funny. There are people in this world that are dumber than you by 50 points. Okay, let's just say it was on a scale, and they are making more money than you simply because they're just doing it. And I really hope that like rings true for you. I hope that sticks with you, because that's what got me going. And the smart people, right, overthink everything. And that's why a lot of them don't actually do anything. I know a ton of people who are way smarter than me who work 9-to-5 jobs who would love to have what I have, but they can't get out of their own fucking way. Right. So again, how you build a rock solid team, a little tip for you is Facebook groups is a good place to start. Freelancers and contractors can actually start a good relationship. That's how I started. Is I contacted a website guy on a site. I don't even remember what it wasn't Fiverr, but it was some random site that I used like one time. And I just kept going back to him because he was very communicative. He was kind. He was funny, and then I kept him on my team, and I'm sure he does other work for other people, but I told him, I said, when I need something done, you drop what you're doing for me, because I will pay you for that. And he was like, cool, bro, I got you. He probably doesn't even need to, because he's so damn good at what he does. He doesn't need to. So you can gradually increase your teammates that way. Okay. You can do tons of different things to improve your business as you go. And you may still want to keep your hands in certain things that you do. Maybe the sales process that's for me. I don't have other people do sales calls. People typically come to me, which is why you should be building a YouTube channel, which is why you should be building a TikTok and an Instagram and all these things. People now come to me, and then they're already warm. So I just close them. I say, hey, like, yeah, what do you need? Right. So gradually improve as you need. And by the way, if you need help, just book a call with me and I'll help you with your strategy. Point number 4 is build a predictable lead generation machine. Okay. Again, and that's why it's, from YouTube, TikTok, these things. Your own website. Obviously, if you set a website up in your city, you can dominate your city. That's another way you can do it, but that's not niching down, because if you do your city, it's going to be very small. You're going to have like maybe 2 handfuls of sandblasting businesses for your city, but that is a good place to start, and then kind of branch out from there, because you're just going to call them. And then you may have to drive maybe half an hour to a place, but make sure he'll meet you. You know what I mean? Don't waste your gas or time. But even then, guys, sometimes you just have to put the blood, sweat, and tears into it, and the disappointments. Like, if you really want it, like the universe, I'm not trying to get spiritual or woo woo on you, but the universe will provide. It will give you what you want. That is the blessing of this place. What you desire, you can get. You just have to work for it. So no leads is no growth. Always remember that. You need a consistent stream of qualified prospects coming in. There's inevitably going to be churn. There are people who will just leave. Okay. It's just the way that it goes. But the best way to retain those people is just to have a great relationship with them. Literally, one of my clients, his name's Thomas. We are like we literally talk like we're friends, and I send him like birthday gifts and shit like that. And he doesn't live far away from me. He's like a 2-hour drive. There was one time when I went up there to take pictures, cause he moved his office from one spot to another. And I went over there, and I told him to send me the pictures. He's like, I will, but he was lagging on it. And I was like, Thomas, I'm driving over. I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to film you in front of your business and your team. I just went full out for him. And he, again, that's what I mean. You're creating really good relationships with these people. So you can do, and here's the different ways to generate leads. You have outbound, you have inbound, and you have referrals. Okay. So these are ways that you can attack it at first. And when you're first beginning, you're not going to have too many, inbound. You're going to have mostly outbound. That's just the way it goes. And then as soon as you start, again, working for free, building skill equity, you can start your YouTube. Don't just rely on one channel, stack a few. Okay. And then point number 5 is optimize systems and client experience. I talked about retention and all these things. It's absolutely important to retain your clients. And that's so sales and retention are what I do. I'm the face of my businesses. So, that's my thing. And that's just what I do. Okay. I tried going to do a more broad SEO agency, and I just hated it. I hated the trying to figure out different different deliverables and stuff like that. I just liked the niche agency model, right? It worked really well for me, and it still does, and it's great. So I have a niche, a general agency, but I don't really even look at it anymore. So scaling is super hard at first without systems and keeping things optimized for client experience, because systems are everything. Smooth operations means happy clients, better retention, and less chaos. Trust me, you're going to get overwhelmed. You just are. Onboarding, project management, you can use things like Trello and stuff like that for project management. That's what I use. And Telegram. Telegram is literally key for me. I set up an account with a specific phone. I got a second phone for this business too. And I just have all my people there, and I just send each one what they need. I send voice messages to them and say, hey, this is what you need. And reporting. So you can report things to clients. There are definitely software out there that you can use to report. I don't really even bother anymore. I do that for the first few months, and then I stop. They don't even really care because they start seeing more phone calls coming through. So it's just about the right niche, high value offer, reliable teams, and consistent lead flow. That's why I said it's simple. It's more simple than you think. Now it's not easy, right? And so at first you're going to be, guys, I want you hustling your ass off at first. If you really want it, go for it, So just continue to get after it. And again, if you need my help, book a call. Let me know what you need. I don't, again, most of my stuff is completely hands off. So I have a little bit more free time than so I try to keep my calls relatively cheap enough where it feels like it's worth it to me, but also keeping tire kickers away is also important, because I've helped so many people over the years, and I've poured so much energy, blood, sweat, and tears into people, and they just give up. So I try to keep my energy back a little bit, but anyway, guys, you guys can totally do this. It's not as hard as you think. And again, we can dive into fitness or other niches if you guys want to. So if you guys have questions put them in the comment section down below. I will literally answer them in videos. So check the next video for your potential answer. And maybe I'll post it on the screen. I might do that. and at the right time at the very end or something like that. But I might just read it out. I might just say, hey, this person asked this question, and just answer it. So if you have any questions, hit me up. If you want coaching, it's in the description box below.